Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Sleep Podcast. And today we have Andrew with us. Hi Andrew.
Hello, Nidhin, and hello to Ajit also. So I'm very thankful to you people for this opportunity. I'm also delighted to share my experience regarding the sleeps, and then the topic we chose like how the sleep impacts on us, and then being a human beings, how much it is important for us. And once again, thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, Andrew is one of our batchmates and he's an international student. Comes from Nepal and we're very much interested to learn into how the culture over there is and how was it different for him to come in Kerala and does his post-graduation here. So yeah, let's just see about your career and everything. You said you have done being a teacher, you worked in the banking sector, even you were in marketing, so different fields, right? How was that? Like how was that experience, right?
If you go through like my professional experiences or background, it was in different area. I did my schoolings in city area mostly. In early childhood, I was doing from my one hometown villages. So during my UG, I started like school time teacher, and I was teaching there, and I was also pursuing my UG there itself. So being a teacher there and then teaching to the students, making them learning to new things and the bookish knowledge and the extra practical knowledge, it was a very one of the professional way to teach them. And it's very important, like to build nations, such leaders in our country. So it was a great job for me. And then later, after during UG at last semester, I was doing MBA and sorry BBA. During that last semester, almost I joined a IT company as a marketing manager role. So within 1 year, I learned a lot of things there, and then because of some circumstances, like we have to work as an internship, it was compulsory under UG, and then I have to go for like internship in government job, government banks, and I did internship at least 6 months in that government banks. That is the national bank of our country, like Rashtriya Banijya Bank. We call it as a Rashtriya Banijya Bank. And then after I went for competitive exam preparation in capital city. I just stayed there 1 year. I prepare in between I was going through the competitive exam preparation. In between, simply we got a scholarship from the lead college of management, and now as a present we are in lead college as a MBA students. That's our journey. This is all about my journey.
Yeah. So how's the culture like? What's the difference in culture that you have felt from Nepal and Kerala? Like how is the people here? How is the culture? How is it so much different from Nepal?
There are no so much differences like Indian culture and Nepalese culture. You know, we have open border, so most of the things are common in India and Nepal. Cultures are also similar, but still there are some existing differences in culture itself. In Kerala, mostly in Kerala, we notice some things here the Kerala is one of the for Indians literacy rate is higher in Kerala states itself. So all peoples are humble and then soft-hearted. They well behaved to us, and then the main differences I can point out like that they are very humble towards I mean say towards downwards to the earth, and then they are cooperating and other things like regarding food culture, Kerala is famous for its spices a lot of. So you people you are the king of, I mean to say, the Kerala itself is the considered as the king, or uh, have a great impact on spices. We are exporting those spices to other country, so you know how to use those spices in itself in Kerala itself and all over the country also. So they make a good food with a combination of different spices. So there are little bit differences I can found in like food culture, and the way just we are consumption habit is a little bit differences there. These are the most common differences we can find out there.
Okay. I see. So about sleep, right? Let's get into that topic, right? So how was sleep when you were in Nepal? Like, is there any changes? Do you have any culture of like having more importance to sleep, or like is it like more focused on work culture, things like that?
Yeah, sleep is totally, I mean, say, depends upon person to person, location to locations, and family structures, work life. There are many factors that impact the sleeps of a person. So, mostly talking about like Nepalese culture of sleep. If you talk about like rural area, or their peoples mostly engage in agriculture fields, agriculture works. So mostly they sleep in between at night 9 to 10, and then early in the morning they have to wake up and do their regular daily works activities, routine work. So the early in the morning they wake up mostly between 5 to 6. So their sleep hour is between 10 to, you can call 10 to 5 almost. But still, there is lack of good sleep or quality sleeps. But it also depends upon the like in urban area how they sleep. Like they sleep late night because they are working in corporate offices, and they come late. They have late night sometimes parties also, and late night work also, stress also. So they mostly go for late night works and they wake up late also. That's the main differences in sleep culture in there.
Okay, okay. I see. So over here in lead, right? How's that affected your sleep cycle? Like in the projects, assignments, things like that, and the MBA curriculum. How has that affected your sleep? Like,
So in lead especially, if I compare with my UG during our one home country, we have classes early, especially in the morning, like 6 to 10 or 6 to 9. It is like 3 hour or 4 hour class, and then after we can go for work, we can go for like self study, we can go for their one daily routine activities. But we know the culture of lead itself. The lead, the timetable is from 8:30 to 8:30. So a little bit differences is there in timetable, like whole day engagement is there, but it's beneficial for us also. Like we are doing MBA in residential college, and the programs are structured in that way so that we can learn a lot of things in whole day engagements. Every time new concepts, new skill enhancement, personal development. So talking about like sleep, while I was in my country or hometown during my UG or other educational fields, we are sleeping mostly in between 10 to 11 and waking up between 6 to 7. It was like it. But when I came to the lead, and then I have to adapt, anybody has to adapt as per the, geographical location and their culture. So in lead mostly we select in between 11 to 12 and get up at between like in between 7 to 8, and then wake up and get ready and be ready for the classes. So a little bit differences is there. Sometimes we sleep late night also because there are something to do, urgent works, and like sometimes presentation, assignments, and project work, and so many activities like sometimes it goes on up and down. Still, we are trying to do it in a right way and a right sleep. Let's see how the things are going on.
I see. So have there been instances where you have to sacrifice sleep and then do a presentation or a work, and then next day you wake up? How has that affected your productivity or the way you perform?
It's greatly impacted. There is, uh, exact amount, or you can say adequate amount of sleep is very necessary for your logical thinking. I mean, say being active. If you didn't sleep in late night, or if you are just working late night, or you are trying to work at the finish the last minute, so it will make you create a problem like anxiety, stress. So you cannot sleep well, and until and unless you cannot sleep go well, then your productivity at daytime is definitely low. Like you cannot concentrate on the things in a full manner, and your memory power, if you like compare to the like a student, how much importance for the memory, the things like we have to memorize, or we have to understand the things in very deeply. Being an MBA student, it's impact a lot. So we have to go in things like we have to learn everything in deeply, and we have to understand the things, we have to make it clarity. So it also impact on our memory powers. So better to sleep at least 8 hours or 6 hours, or the recommended sleeps is per the the differences is like for child how much to sleep, for adult how much to sleep, for old elderly people how much to sleep. There is sleep hours. For us, I think there is 8 hours of sleep recommended. So 8 hours of sleep can give you good memory powers, logical thinkings, and you are also be active in the classrooms and your daily activities routines. So That is that in this way they are impacting, or their correlation is there.
I see. I see. So, like, the elder generation there in Nepal, right? How are they? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they were like more into like labor and things like that, probably. And back then, they used to do a lot of physical activities and things like that. Even Kerala, I believe, like, even my grandparents and everyone was involved in farming and things like that. So, I think after a certain point of time, they used to get that, adequate amount of sleep. Even though they used to wake up early in the morning, I believe they used to get enough sleep and good quality sleep because they are active during the day. So, like, according to you, like, how is it in Nepal? Like, are the people usually physically more active or are they less active? And does it affect their sleep?
Uh, for getting this answer, it depends upon the there are many factors, but if you talk about work-life balance or work life, it depends about how the work they are doing, where they are. I mean to say, if they are doing labor-oriented work, physical works, they get tired soon. If a labor is working whole day hard enough, and then at evening definitely is going to be tired and he needs sleep. So mostly for labor oriented organizations or labor oriented locality, or the people who are involved in labor things, they mostly sleep early in the evening, and they also wake up early in the evening because they have to do the same thing again and again. For white collar jobs, like those people who are working in corporate world, they are late workers, late night they came, and they have to finish their deadlines, and some things like more targets are there. So their sleep differences is totally different from their labor activities, like labor people who are involved in labor things. So in this way, there is gap in sleep timing. For laborers, they are sleeping early, waking up early. For the corporate world, they are working in different way and different things. Like for late night work is there. That's the thing. They are in this way. They are going in the Nepalese society also. And one more thing I would like to add, the world is emerging as a technological advancement, digital era. So, like even in rural area also, or even in urban area also, the peoples are addicted to some of the social media. So they are using it late night, during bedtime. You have to sleep, but due to that also long time screening or reels, we can say that the impact of social media, the reels they are looking for it, they are impacting a lot in their sleep habits, and then they cause stress, pressure, and they are not having a good amount of sleep, and then it's decreases their mental health.
Definitely, definitely. I heard about like festivals like Dashain and Tihar, like festivals in Nepal, right? Like they're like very pretty long, like I don't know, like 15 days around the festivals, right? How is those festivals over there? Like, does it involve you guys staying late night, or is there any ceremonies that happen during that time? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely in the no the Nepalese is a Nepalese country is you can say, consider as a full of mountains, rivers, temples as well. So a lot of like religions are there. They celebrate their one religions, cultures, traditions, and most of the festivals are like national wise. They celebrated in a group, and for social
mm,
integration and social collaboration, like they respect each other religion also, and they involve in each other also in each other cultural programs. So, like most of the famous, or you can say world nationwide celebrated festivals are like Dashain, Tihar, Deepavali, and Chhat. And during those days, most of the peoples are involved in their social integration, social work, and their one family like work has increases. And then at that time, the companies are mostly closed up, or holidays are there, but still there are some many works like related to their culture and tradition. So they definitely work at late night also, and then they enjoy it
mm,
late night also, like with their family, friends, neighborhoods. Like they play cards,
yes,
they play singings, dancings, enjoying, and sometimes they eat heavy meals also. Due to heavy meals also, they cannot, they can't go for a sleep early in then late night sleep is very common during those festival things. But how they manage, like
mm.
after 2 or 3 days they again come back to the normal sleep. They have to maintain that because again they have to restart their work, and then once the festival finish, they will again reback and normal to their one position. That's the thing. It will directly impact, directly or even sometimes indirectly, that are impacting on health also. but we cannot say like as a we have to consider our society as a festivals we are celebrating togetherness. So that's a great importance.
Hmm. I see, I see. So taking you as an individual, right? What kind of sleeper are you? Are you a deep sleeper or are you a light sleeper? Do you get that good sleep continuously or do you wake up in between your sleeping?
For me, if you talk like especially, I'm a very light sleeper. So sometimes I goes in deep, very deep, but most of the times, if I consider myself as a light sleeper, like if something a little bit sound comes out, I wake up suddenly, and once I wake up, it's very difficult to sleep again. So I always try to prefer like to be sleep alone so that nobody can disturb me and nobody can like or simply I will not be wake up with such some small things like so I consider myself as a light sleeper, let's say, but still I'm trying to change these things because sometimes as an environment or something is going on, we have to adjust as per the changing environment. I'm just trying to
Hmm.
make it good.
I see. I'm also a light sleeper. Like I also wake up very fast. If I hear any noise, a light is turned on or something like that, I wake up very fast, very alert. I'm very alert in my sleep. Ajit over here, he is very deep sleeper. Once he's out, like he's gone till morning. Like he can sleep
No.
really well. So that's one thing. So
And
Ajit, do you want to ask any questions?
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
Ajit.
I'm good. Yeah, man. Just man, can you tell me about some sort of superstition or myth surrounding Nepal regarding sleep or those belief affecting sleep?
Yeah, definitely there is existing in every like if you go through like some sorts of cultures are like that way only. They are practicing from a longer period of time from early childhood. So by knowingly or unknowingly we are following sometimes also. Sometimes not most of the times like we are also part of society. So it goes round and round and it comes to you also sometimes. So there was some myth like I will share one myth like myth or you can say superstitions or its culture. Uh, I personally cannot make it as a good or bad. It depends upon the society, how people are using it or how people are seeing the things. Like there is a myth like putting your heads in north side and legs in south side is not considered as a good like some of the cultures and societies they consider it as the the dead bodies must be sleep in that way, so it's not good to sleep in that position like north to south. Then mostly they preferred like sleep in east and west, like put your head in east side and then your legs in west side or any other position regarding that north and south. But contradictory if you go for like other religion, they are just opposite. So how can we say some that is good or that is bad? I cannot distinguish. Even other peoples cannot distinguish because it depends upon person to person, their family structure and their religious, cultural trends and what their ancestors are following. So it depends upon the religion itself also and the society also. There are many things like that way it is going on. Still it is we need to figure out and make it as a corrective way, and we have to go for like scientific thinking. How is it correct or not? If it is not, then how can we do that the things better way? In that way we can connect, but still some things are going on in the same way round and round.
Yeah. So, like, is there any experience where you had worked very hard compared to those normal sleep routines?
Yeah, uh, while uh, while working in a bank as a
Mm.
junior assistant. It was in my hometown itself, so
Oh,
I don't have to worry about like staying and food. Like it is nearby my home only, just 5 to 10 minutes. And but still, the banking job like. I was going from 9 to 6. It was the job like that, but still sometimes it goes late night also, so it's very difficult to manage the working life and again at the same time the study time. We have to also prepare for your classes, assignments and all the things. So it's very difficult during that time to manage work life and college life together, and in between we have to also focus on our physical and mental health, and sleep is one of the important aspects of our mental health and physical also. So during those days, a little bit I was, in tough situation, or we can say, a little bit suffering situation was there to handle those things together. So there was a little bit, lack of sleep was there, and I was feeling, sometimes like uh, unrest or anxiety or stress during those days. So it was one of the toughest experience for me in my life during banking work life. I didn't say that banking work life is bad, but still because I was doing the same thing together. Like I was also studying and I also doing the banking. So it might be it depends upon person to person how they are handling the things. But for me it was very tough to handle those things together.
I see. I see. So now we are doing here EMBA, right? Entrepreneurship batch in MBA, right? So like, how was that? Like, what was the decision from like you have done many kind of jobs, I can say, right? Teacher to manager, banker, things like that. So that switch to being or starting a business, like what did spark that kind of thing in you, or what is your main motivation to start your own business and to work for that?
It's like I will tell you the things like there are many categories of people. So I mean to say human beings are there. Some people easily recognize their aim and goals. Like they are very clear from the beginning
Right.
itself. Like some they if you ask in early childhood they directly tell you I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a CA, I want to be a entrepreneurship. So some people are very clear and they are addicted to it and they are determined, they are committed towards their goals. But I mostly consider myself in other categories. Like I experienced the things. Like firstly, I joined as a teacher. I worked there, and I feel that it is not for me. And then as a marketing manager in IT company, IT company means I mean to say that was a authorized dealer for Dell laptops. I worked there as a marketing manager. I again realized it is not for me. And then I went for internship in government bank for 6 months. To somehow I connected there. To somehow I connected my educational backgrounds, my experiences there. I felt like, okay, this job is okay for me, but it's still not best. It's still not best, but okay for me. And then I thought, what should be done preparing government competitive exams in capital city. I stayed there almost 1 year, and I was preparing like competitive exams. Like I was at least I was figuring out what's my what are the things or what jobs can suit on me. Still, I was figuring the best one, and I came to know that I think government banking job is okay in like in comparison to like other jobs I have experience in my life, and then I went there. But in between, in the middle of the like competitive exam preparation, uh, from the lead college of management Kerala, we got a scholarship, and then in between, I thought it's a great opportunity to have an MBA degree, and then we can also proceed for like higher level of jobs if you are proceed, and then we can go for like higher level of positions after MBA degree, and other things like to explore India also. Like India is a our neighboring country, open border, everything is common. Mostly most of the things are common in India and Nepal. So it was a great opportunity to us to come and explore the neighbor, at least neighboring country. That was the one of the reason. And when we come here and join together, and then we see the different things like the college itself has an entrepreneurship batch. They are upholding and upskilling like how to be a entrepreneurship. And then I connected myself fully here. I mean to say this suits on me. I feel like this is good for me. I think I am made for such things. And then I chose to be an entrepreneurship, and then if the things are going in the same way, let's hoping for the best. So that the things we can say that.
Yeah. So what are you currently working on in your entrepreneurial journey? What is your business plan, or what are you actually working on right now?
uh, Mostly like we belongs to the, if you talk like background, we are looking for like mm, let's have a business in tourism sector, or we can go for like edutech sectors, and one more thing like we're considering like food technology or agri-tech businesses, but mostly we're focusing try to focus on like agri-tech businesses where we can conclude where we can go far. Like our Nepal is also a country of agriculture, so most of the peoples are involved in agriculture things, but still there is gap. There is a problem still. People's productivity is not as far as possible. There are some circumstances and some facilities infrastructure is not there. So we are trying to build a community, or we'll build in such a company like that supports the farmers also for agri food tech businesses, and they can grow their living standard, and we can have a good company there in agri-tech. And
Mm.
in other context, like Nepal is full of natural beauty, so there is a great prospects or importance for tourism sector industry also. So we can also explore the like Nepalese mountains, hills, forest, and other things. So we are also planning for tourism sector in a, agri tourism. We can also fix it there, and then natural also. So we are planning together in the same way. Let's hope it will work out, and still we are working on it.
I see, I see. I think Ajit has something to ask you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I have been to uh, I have been to Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and all, and Bihar is closer to Nepal, right?
yeah.
And yeah, I have seen that, like in my childhood, when there was shortage of electricity at all, I used to sleep in like stars over my head and a small chadar or wooden bed, and then I would sleep in the cold climate and all. So, uh, do traditional Nepalis have similar sleeping arrangement, or would they prefer a modern mattress, which would be much more comfortable, depending upon the situation? What's the opinion of you?
Uh, Still, Nepal is a country of villages. Rural area are mostly there. Still, but still, there are something like urban cities are rural area are also changing. People prefer to go in urban cities, and then have their living standard increment. Or people who are having corporate jobs, they like to live in urban city. But most of the area is covered by rural area. So people in rural area, they use mattresses like a straw, made of a straw. It's a traditional one. It is from early from the beginning. People are following it, and it's personally I also experienced those things. Like even in my home itself, we will sleep on that mattress. Even we can sleep down on bed, even sometime on the roof of the house, and we can see the stars at nights. The open area, open space. Village life is totally good in comparison to like in urban area. They have comfortable luxury life, sleepless bed, artificial things, and but still when you go to or visit the village life, it is totally different with urban area. Then peoples are following from the traditional itself. They made with the hands those mattresses with straw, and then they put in their houses and they slept on it. They feel comfortable. The main thing is depends upon the person to person. So old age people, even in childhood, we used mostly to sleep on it. Even now itself, those things are in our house, and we can whenever we go to home, we love to sleep on that mattresses. So there is traditional impact, and there is also scientific reason behind that. If you sleep on those mattresses, your spinal cord, the background, I mean to say the backbone is straight, and it's a air purifier. Like it can also filter like hot air and cold air coming from the environmental surroundings. So that's the there are some scientific and traditional we can say reasons are there. People are following, still people are following on it, but it depends upon the like person to person. Now most of the peoples are love to have mattresses from the company. Those company who are offering a good quality services, they are going for that also.
So for in terms of relaxation and things, right? When you get stressed or when you can't sleep properly, like are there any remedies that people in Nepal do? Any kind of herbal remedies, things like that that you guys specifically do so that you can calm your nerves, be a bit more relaxed?
To be more relaxed, we try to sleep in open places, okay, and then must if the things are not working out, like if you have more stress or more workload, or your work-life balance is not, not in proper situation, then sometimes we go for like medicinal plants, or we can have a fresh air, like for meditations, or we can have a evening walk or morning walk, physical exercises a little bit. And medicinal plants we mostly use like tulsi. We call it as a tulsi. It is very common in everywhere. Most of the nations have. Even in India, we can easily find out. In every home,
Yeah.
if you go in rural area, in every home, even in urban area also, they put in some small pots and they plant it and then have it. They can go for tea also, or they can go for raw leaves also. It can give you a lot of free from stress and anxiety. And sometimes people used to drink tea also, making tulsi tea, and then have it and relax and sleep. So that's the thing now commonly they are following.
I see, I see. So it's just a funny question or a creative question to you. Like, would you rather sleep in a room full of snorers, like people who snore a lot, or would you like try and sleep during a festival time, like when it's very noisy outside? Which one would you rather pick?
uh, Full of listeners, brother, I think it's very difficult for me, very tough for me. Even I am a light sleeping, I mean to say light sleeper. I cannot sleep a little bit sound comes out, then I can wake up. And the most fearful thing is, like, once I wake up, it's very difficult to sleep again. I cannot able to sleep
Mm-hmm.
again. Once, if in the middle of the sleep, if I wake up, it's very difficult to gain the same position again. So for me, it doesn't work out, like people who are surrounded, or I am in a surrounding where snows are there. uh, so I prefer to go outside somewhere and sleep somewhere where there is quiet place, or nobody is, or no sound is something, or no, nothing like environmental impact that can impact on my sleep. So I better to, or even I better, let's on that night I can go for somewhere where I can sleep well.
I see. So if you were to choose between these two, which one would you take? Like a room full of snoring people, like snorers, or somewhere where you're sleeping but outside there's a festival happening? Which one would you choose if you had no option? Like where would you sleep?
Oh my God, you are putting in like such a situation that both are not. Yeah. uh, for light
It's like
sleeper.
choosing your poison, right? Which one are you going to choose?
Oh my God. Then I have to find the alternatives. Like, it's the both situations like that. Even for light sleeper, not for me only. Those who are light sleeper,
Mm.
they cannot sleep within when the sounds is coming. Either it is external or internal. So the both situation
Mm-hmm.
have, one is internal, another is external. So I have to go for, I think,
Okay.
alternative. Alternative might be I have to use something, my ear covered with my what it, earbuds or
Yeah,
something. I have to use uh, to sleep. Either it is internal or external.
definitely. So like was there any incident where there's something funny that happened when you were trying to sleep, like your roommates, back when in your home country, anywhere, like there are things like people who talk in their sleep, people try to they walk in their sleep, things like that happen, right? So any funny incidents that happened anytime that is in your memory?
Yeah, it happens when we are mostly in our country during that time. It is, if I remember the exact time, it is during my UG. We were living in a group in a, like, a small, we call it as a room also, we can call it, but as a small apartments, or we can call it as joint room. There was, but
Yeah.
we were four or five people during exam time. Mostly exam times, we take a room and then we prepare in a group study, and late night study. It was very difficult. And then once night, what happened? We are preparing for the finance subject was the next day, and before one day we are just preparing for all the numerical things, and we are practicing like that. And what happened? Like, it was almost about to 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night,
Uh-huh.
most of them like we prepared and we have food, and we are in the middle we are having tea, to make up wake up and just finish the things early, and then most of
Yeah.
sleep. And then one friend was there, he was sleeping beside me, and after 1 hour, he was in so like a little bit stressful. Everybody is comes in stressful like when it comes to the final exam. It was a matter of
Yeah.
career to pass or fail. How does it impact? And in sleep he was just wake up suddenly, and he was saying that, oh, I got the answer, I got the answer, I got the answer. And we everybody wake up, what happened to this guy? And then he said, oh, I was solving finance questions in my dream, and I when I matched my answer it was messed up. And then we asked what was the question, can you remember? And then he forget the question. Oh my god, then what is the meaning of answer? And
That's
it was the
funny.
funny things, it happens in between. And so I and that time we realized that sleep is most important. Either even it was your hard time or during exam time, for a student especially, sleep well. Until and unless we cannot sleep well, we cannot attend the exam in a good way. Your logical thinking, your capacity of memorizing, it will greatly impact on your, and then maybe your exam will not go in the same way you are planned. So it's better to sleep well during the exam time also.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going through different careers and everything, right?
Okay.
And right now you're doing your MBA, you're also trying to develop your own business and things like that. So what is one advice you would give to the younger generation or future generation about career,
Okay.
studies, things like that? What is one advice you would give?
Like from the experiences I gained or I passes through from backgrounds or past history, I suggest them like even it depends upon person to person, family backgrounds, and their culture, tradition. The ambitions are not set up by the personal, but they was saying like it was your ambition, you have to set it. But there are various background factors are there. They are supporting factors like your family. How was your family? How the cultures was going on in your society? What is the trend now? So there are many factors, and what are your role models in your society, in your country? So it was, the ambitions was influenced by various factors, but still it was the ambition of person, or it was the personal ambitions. So if you go like I will suggest them for coming generation or next generation, they are totally digitalized world. So they're going to have advanced technology better than us. They are better in better versions of technological world. So they mostly prefer to go with the changing environment. I will say two things. Like first thing is that be clear from the beginning itself. What should we do, or what is the uniqueness in that a student has, or that child or that children have. Like everybody have their own uniqueness, and what is their interest, what they are trying to do, what is their strength, and what they when at what time they feel happy when we are doing those things. Like if you are able to figure out that things in the childhood only, then we have a clear ambitions. Like if you want to play with like or if you want to have a play with footballs or cricket games or any sports, then it doesn't then it simply represent that that children has a potential for games, sports, or athletics, wherever he can utilize his full potential. In the same way, like other ways, like for me also, yeah, I experience a lot. Some people are still being confused, what should I do, what should I do, I don't know, where should I feel satisfied. And or after working for some period of time they feel that this job is not for me. So in the second way, like people do the things, experience the things, and they realize, oh, this job is not suitable for me, or this career is not potential for me. I'm not made for the such things. So it depends upon like person to person also, as I mentioned earlier. In the same way we can figure out those things, but now for suggestions or for next generation, they are going to be into totally in digitalized world. So it's better to go through like coming job prospects or coming career like digitalized world like robotics, drone technology, IT information systems. Now the things are totally changed. More than being a bookish, it's better to have a technological things in a proper way. AI things, now emerging things, AI things, how the AI is taking over the world. So that's have a great impact on ambition also, so they can go through that way also.
So that is about it, bro. Like, just we just wanted to have a conversation, just to know what are the things, what are the cultural differences and how things are there in Nepal, and how are the differences that you face? What are the differences that you face when you came to Kerala? And what are the things that you have to go through and things like that. Just basic, well, just general life to learning life. So thanks for watching, guys, who are tuned in, and thanks for coming, bro. Hi.
Yeah.
സ്ലീപ്പ് പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ ഈ പുതിയ എപ്പിസോഡ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ഇതേപോലെ നിങ്ങൾക്കും പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കണമെന്ന് ആഗ്രഹമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷനിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോം ഫില്ല് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. സോ സീ യു ഗൈസ് ഓൺ ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡ്.